Just as some days you have more energy than others, so some hours are more potent and impactful than others. Let's agree to no longer equate our goodness or worth with what society deems as productive. Hi, welcome to this Monday minisode where I share an insight designed to help you live into what lights you up this week. I'm Sheila. I am an entrepreneur, a mom, a self-care strategist, and I'm creator of the Seasons self-care app, where I help you tap into your personal power with an emphasis on your feminine energy to create beautiful impact in the world. And today we're talking about time. Do you feel like you're wasting it? Do you often berate yourself because you feel like you're just not getting enough done in a day? It's common. We all do it. It's part of the soup that we are swimming in our society, where so much of what we do is impacted by a clock, right? Everything we do is by the clock so often. And when we look at our results, it's often equated according to time as well. And I want to invite you in to consider some different things. And that would begin with, what is your time worth? And what is your life's energy worth? I've spent the last 6 years immersed in a beautiful community of women who have been really focused on the concept of energy, not management as much as energy flow, and understanding how to create productivity according to our cycles and rhythms. And with my work as a self-care coach for so many years and my own experience personally in working with my feminine rhythms to be able to live a full life and to really tune in and hone in on what my intuition is saying at any given time, the energy is all at the core of it. Time, certainly we live in a time-based world, so we have a clock to run on. And what I've really worked on and what I've worked with other women on is to determine those rhythms and those patterns that almost live outside of time, in a sense, and tuning into things like your body's rhythm, the rhythm of nature, the moon cycles, etc. And these are things that there is, I guess technically there's time connected to them, but when we're honing in on time and rituals with ourselves, sometimes we can feel like a period of time sitting in silence can either last an eternity, and we feel like, oh my gosh, when is this meditation going to be over, for instance? Meanwhile, it's only been a few minutes. Or we can be in such a creative flow that hours will pass and we'll feel like it was just a moment in time. So this is a different way of looking at time. And in our time-based world, we have things that we need to operate according to. We have calendars, we have schedules, we have clocks. I love my calendar that dings to remind me of various things, because if I had to keep it all up here, it would be really challenging, of course, especially with different types of businesses and my family and their needs and my extended family and getting together with friends, etc. It's a lot and it's full and I love it. And so what I do in order to really tune into my own intuition and to really make my energy the predominant source of where everything else flows from is by building in daily rituals that make me feel almost like I'm living outside of the 24-hour clock. And what I do is I build them in either to my early day and then midday, end of day, wherever I feel like I need to. When I have more time, perhaps on the weekend, that's outside of a traditional schedule, I build in things like my meditation, like creative time, like time to sit in silence, particularly outdoors under the trees. A time to be able to just move my body, to do free flow yoga that's not time-based, to take a meandering walk without my watch, so that I don't even know how long have I been, how many steps, I don't know. I've just been out enjoying it. And when I do this, it tunes me in to myself into my greater purpose as a result. And it fills me up in such a way that when I reconvene in the time-based world, in my family where, hey, let's get dinner on the table. Who's making dinner tonight? It's not always me. I'm able to be in the presence of that with so much more graciousness and peace and kindness to others, more presence, because I have been present with myself. That is at the root of the self-care strategies that I walk alongside of women in. When we are really giving to ourselves first, it allows us to show up in our lives in such a powerful way. Self-care is not selfish, as they say. If everyone took some space every single day to fuel themselves in some way that was meaningful to them, where they felt like they were really nourishing themselves and not relying on outer external things to fill them up and not relying on certain things to happen in order for them to be happy, but tuning into what is the beauty that exists within them and gratitude for what is working right now, because all of us can pick some goodness from somewhere, no matter where we're at in our life. And I can only say that because, as I've mentioned in previous episodes, I've walked alongside people through their last breaths of life, people who were very, very meaningful to me, very dear loved ones. And even in those moments, I'm so grateful I didn't try. It's like I was given a gift. I feel like a heavenly gift of being able to still find some goodness in those moments, to find a gift, just an inkling, a sliver of hope, a sliver of love that carried me through. And so no matter what you're facing, and my heart is with you if you're facing something really challenging right now, if you and I both can look at something that we can be grateful for, that is a place to begin. And then we can fill ourselves up from that place to start with, and then move into our days with a lot more grace on ourselves and grace on others as well. When we're disconnected from that, and when we're only connected to the clock and the calendar, which very often is filled with everybody else's priorities, we can often lose sight of ourselves, our own dreams, and our purpose here in this world. So I invite you this week to tune into that, to take a moment, like literally 5 minutes to start your day. And if you have like young ones who are calling for your attention, as soon as you're able to get 5 minutes to yourself, start some sort of practice where you can just be still, look for the good, and fill yourself up first. It's a place to begin. So don't feel like you're wasting time, because time, really it's outside of us, right? There's so much to this. If you look at Newtonian time and the different calendars and all these types of things, it's like, it can blow our minds. But time can expand in our experience of it when we are approaching our days from a place of groundedness. So I invite you into that this week. And to dive deeper into these types of practices, to walk alongside of a community of women who are practicing these things, who are unhooking from the old ways of living and working and going after their dreams and caring for their loved ones and caring for themselves, I invite you to come into the Seasons Collective. And you can see it all at the Seasons app. You'll see a link in my bio for the Seasons app. There's various different ways you can join in, from the basic free version to the daily practices version that is paid, to the Seasons Collective, which is a community. And then I have other offers as well for people who want to work in close proximity with me. I look forward to seeing you in there. I wish you all the best. Please feel free to share this and leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. I would love to hear how you feel about this episode, what's landed for you. And this is the way that these episodes get out into the world, is by you reviewing and sharing. And most of all, I pray that you put it into practice so that you can really reap the rewards for a beautiful life. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on another episode. Big blessings.